What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the Underdogs Podcast. Moving on to episode 18 now. As always, my name is Jordan Daly. We got Craig Smith, Mike Taylor. Say what's up, guys.
What it is.
What up?
Craig, I'll pass it off to you to introduce the guest.
Yeah, man, we got a special guest here, Sky. It's a Big East brother, ACC brother.
Big East.
one of my favorites I like to watch, especially in college, because me being a little bit older, but definitely a very versatile talent. Seems like he spent like 13 years in the league, but he only had 4. But it seems like you had 13. You're a Syracuse record setter, FIBA gold and silver medalist. Very talented guy. Spent a ton of time overseas as well. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Donte Greene to the Underdogs Podcast.
Yeah. What's going on, fellas?
Man, it's a pleasure to have you on. You know what I'm saying? I talked about it for a minute now. Finally got the pleasure of having you on. You know what I'm saying? Again, appreciate you being on with us, bro. And let's hop right into it. First off, I want to kind of talk about your upbringing. You know what I'm saying? Being born in Germany and how you grew up on a base and, moms and everything. Like, walk us through, like, what your childhood was like. And
Mom's worked for the NSA. I was fortunate enough to be born overseas. I was born in Munich, Germany. Stayed there until I was about 4 years old, 4.5. Then we moved back to the States. I was in Germany. I moved back to Baltimore. My mom's and dad's, basically my whole family's from Baltimore. So moved back there, stayed there until I was about 9. Then went back overseas, did a stint in Japan for a while. We was in Japan for 3 years, and while we were there, we bounced all around from South Korea to Guam to Thailand to Hawaii, like just moving, just everywhere my mom went, we was basically going with her. So that was dope to be able to experience that. The first half, I guess you would say, of my childhood. Stayed overseas till I was 13, and then moved back to the States. Unfortunately, my mom passed away, so me and my brother had to move back with my pops and my grandmother and my grandfather, and that's when I guess my love for the game kind of went to a different level, and I started to take the game seriously.
so you were saying your mom's passed when you was around 13 years old, going into high school?
Well, I was 13. I was in the 7th grade when she passed away.
Okay. All right.
So toward the end of middle school, yeah.
Man, how was that process? You know what I'm saying? Early, like I'm big on the mental. You know what I'm saying? So, like, as a child going through that experience, traveling, being there with your moms, and you know what I'm saying, her being that main support for you and everything. How was that mentally going through death? You know what I'm saying, in our culture, and it being so close to home. Like, how was that affect? You know what I'm saying? Affecting you?
It was horrible. It was horrible. I always been, a good kid. I never wanted to upset. Whenever my mother would be upset, never wanted to, do anything to put any added stress on her because she was already, a single mom raising 2 kids overseas. So that was already difficult enough. I knew that at an early age, so I just tried to always be, that the good kid. Like, my mom, like my mom's friend. That was my best friend. So when she passed away, man, just like spiraled out of control. Started to act up in school, man. I think my 7th grade year, I think I was suspended. I was supposed to be expelled. It was that bad. Just going crazy, man. Doing stuff that I knew I wasn't supposed to be doing. It just wasn't right. But it was just like, just acting out, man. Like, how else are you supposed to act? When 13 years old, losing your mom, your best friend, your everything. So it was tough. But I always say that basketball saved me. I started hanging out with a different crowd, and all they wanted to do was hoop. So I was like, hey, let me go ahead and get on board, and because if you acting up in school, you can't make the school team. You can't do none of that. So I had to make sure I get got myself together and got myself right, and you know, as much as you know, I love the game. It really, you know, saved my life for sure.
So I appreciate you kind of diving into that a little bit for me, bro. All right, now picking back up, you know what I'm saying? You in high school in the DMV in that area.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me, bro. Like, I ain't even gonna lie. Like, I ain't know your career was this decorated early. You know what I'm saying? You was high school, you know what I'm saying? 2007 Gatorade Player of the Year, McDonald's All-American, Nike brand All-American, Jordan Classic, ranked number 7th in the country. Like, you know what I'm saying? You win the high school titles and everything. Kind of like take us through that process in high school. And like you say, you know, that mentality that you was having, starting to take the game serious, and, you know what I'm saying, just how you kind of basically just let it all out on the court, huh?
Yeah, it started off rough though. Don't get me wrong. It was. I wouldn't say I was bad, but I wasn't nowhere where I was. You know, where I eventually ended up towards my end of my high school career. Came into school, I might have been like, I probably was like 6'1". The start of my 6'1", 6'2", start of my freshman year. Played JV the entire year. Grew a little bit. I think I might have finished my freshman year probably like 6'4". 6'5", but just was real skinny, and you know, just trying to figure my body out and trying to figure out, you know, just my position on the court. You know, back then you didn't have the stretch four like we have now. It was, you know, trying to figure out if I'm gonna be on the wing because I'm skinny, I'm athletic, I'm versatile, but at the same time, you know, you tall. Back in the day, you know, you 6'4", 6'5", they put you right.
You on a block.
Yeah, go right to the block. Exactly, you a center. So I mean, shoot, Craig, no. I mean, they just throw the big joint, throw the big guys down there, and y'all figure it out. But I knew I had something special, and I wanted to, you know, to continue to grow my game. So I just worked, man. In the summer, just always in the gym. My AAU coach, Coach Corbett, and Coach Bass and Coach Curl, they made sure to keep me in the gym. And then my high school coach, between Coach Mike Daniels and eventually my other high school coach, just everybody just always working. It's like I played basketball really year round for like 3 or 4 years straight. This was before, you know, before the trainers or anything like that, just in the gym, just doing regular workouts and just getting better. And man, I went from unranked in the country, beginning of my freshman year to my junior year, top 10 and committing to Syracuse. So, I mean, it happened quick, but I mean, it was definitely a lot of work I put in for sure.
So in high school, so around your junior year, that's when it kind of like clicked for you, like, okay.
Oh yeah, nah, for sure. It took the summer going into my junior year, it took off. I went to Nike, the Nike All-American game. I used to have Nike camp back in the day. So everybody went to Nike camp. I think I tore Nike camp up, like went crazy, and then went from unranked to 15th. And then that next summer, summer of my junior year, going to my senior year, is when I really like just took off. I went back to Nike camp, got MVP of the whole camp, MVP of the All-Star game. I went and played with the USA under 18, under 17, under 18, one of them two teams. Won the gold medal there. My AAU team, we destroyed the whole Nike circuit. We won every tournament from Boo Williams to Memorial Day to Peace Jam. We were undefeated. I think it was like 45-0 for the summer. Crazy run, but everything just came together for me, man. It was a blessing, man. It's crazy.
Oh, that's what's up.
Bro had a sick trophy case before he turned 18, bro.
Crazy.
Yo, my grandmother had all the trophies in the living room, man. A big old case. It was wild, man. Trophies laying next to it. She loved the trophy more than I did, man. I was just happy to be out there hooping and winning. But yeah, grandma's had all the trophies, bro. Everything she had up in the crib. It was wild, man. It was wild.
Let's talk about your experience playing for Team USA in the FIBA and under 18. Like, what was that like? You won the silver and gold.
It was eye opening. I would say that because with us over here in the States, like not to say we're spoiled or anything like that, but like when you go and play, in FIBA International, them dudes is already pros. They 15, 16 years old.
The mentality is different.
Yeah, they pros already. So granted, 9 times out of 10, we're still better basketball players. We're still, we're a little more skilled. Our basketball IQ is probably higher, I would say, and that's no knock on them, but they grown men, like 15, 16 years old. You going over there, you playing against them. It's like, dang, like it was I would say playing in FIBA, even though the year before my freshman year was like playing, it was almost like playing in the league. Like it wasn't even like playing in college. Them dudes was grown men. It was physical. I think we still got robbed. We should have won the gold medal because our team was crazy. We had a crazy team. Me, DeAndre Jordan, Steph Curry, Johnny Flynn, Mike Beasley. I don't know if you remember. I know Mike do. Raymar Morgan went to Michigan State. He was cold. Raymar Morgan was one of the first dudes I seen that had like a pro body in college and like had all the pro moves. Like he was like a small forward, but he was nice, cooking over there too. But man, we had a squad, ended up losing in the championship to Serbia. We went and played in Serbia. But yeah, just getting that experience was big time for me. It helped me take my game to another level and prepare me for college, man. I don't think I would have been I would have still been successful, but not as successful the beginning of my college career if I didn't go over there and play with Team USA. So definitely a big shout out to them.
So after that kind of experience in high school and FIBA, what was like your college recruiting process like?
I committed early, so it got hectic. I know in Baltimore we hoop. We always have open gym, especially in my school. I went to a small Catholic school, so basically me and my guy Malcolm Delaney, we had the keys.
Malcolm Delaney. Shout out to Malcolm Delaney.
Yeah.
Fucking bucket.
That's my dog. That's my dog right there. But yeah,
we gotta get Brody on the pod too.
For sure. But yeah, we had the keys to our gym, and we was having open gym in the off season almost every day, man. And when we both started to explode onto the scene, college coaches was there every single day, every open gym. We would have anybody from Duke to North Carolina to Kansas to Kentucky, Texas, Miami, Georgetown, Syracuse, like anybody you name. It was at least every single day, at least 5 coaches in the gym. And that's when cell phones had just came out. So like text messages and phone was blowing up. I'm like, I couldn't even like focus on school because it was like, coaches trying to talk to you. I'm like, man, I can't do that. I don't know how people even hold off to the end of their senior year and all that. Man, it was the beginning of my junior year. I just kind of really stepped into the recruiting process, and I was like, man, I'm about to make me a decision now. I can't go into my junior season with this over my head and trying to, where you want to go, and this coach hitting you up, that coach coming, let's take a visit this place, that place. Like, man, I ain't gonna lie, for me, it was hectic. So I was like, man, I need to go ahead and hurry up and make a decision and just get it out the way.
It's a great decision you made, by the way.
Look, it was crazy though, because I almost went to Georgetown. I was in Georgetown all the way. Like I used to go down there and hang out with them. It was right down the street from the crib, so I was going down there playing pick up, hanging out with Jeff and Patrick Ewing Jr. and had already committed. Austin Freeman and Chris Wright, they were going there. So I really wanted to, I wanted to go to Georgetown. That was my thing, but it way too many. They was forward heavy, way too many forwards. They had Jeff still to make his decision. They didn't know if he was going to go to the NBA or come back. Patrick Ewing Jr. was there. They had DeJuan Summers. They had Jeremiah Rivers, which was Austin and Austin's brother. But man, they was forward heavy. So my decision to go to Syracuse was going into my freshman year. They will only have 4 returning players, no matter what. They graduated a graduating class. It was going to leave like Demetrius Nichols, Terrence Roberts, Big Moot. I had like a bunch of them that was leaving out, big senior class.
Shout out to Moot.
Yeah, Big Moot. Whoever was gonna come in with me, we was gonna slide in and kind of, take the reins. And I always wanted just to go somewhere where I know I can continue to grow my game and what I'm saying, basically be the man. And Syracuse gave me that option.
Was that like your most important kind of aspect around picking a school, is like somewhere you can go and make like an instant impact?
Oh, for sure. I didn't want to go nowhere and sit. I hadn't done that since middle school. So my whole high school, from my sophomore year, being a captain on varsity and just taking them steps to continue to grow my game and get better. I felt like if I went somewhere and sat, it wouldn't have benefited me at all. So definitely needed to go somewhere where I could play and still play my game. And that's the thing I commend Boeheim about all the time. Coach Boeheim, famer. He recruits you for who you are. A lot of college coaches try to recruit you and change your game or want you to fit their style. Like, if he recruits you, he wants you to come just as you are. If anything, he's gonna help you get better. He's gonna, build your strengths up, but at the same time, he's not trying to change your game, and he'll let you go out there and just rock, just play. I'm saying the system he has is great, and it fits perfect for me.
I mean, clearly you had a amazing freshman year. You started in all the games you played in. You led the team in scoring, which you were the first to do since Carmelo as a freshman, and blocks. And you also set the freshman record for threes in a season with 90. So obviously, like whatever system was there in place was working for you. So you had a killer year.
Yeah. It really, what's crazy is it really should have been better. We had a lot of injuries, man. We lost Andy Routens early. He tore his ACL in the Olympics, I believe it was, or was it the World Cup? That year might have been Olympics. But that was the World Cup. He tore his ACL in the World Cup. Then we had Eric Devendorf go down too. That was our dog. That was our leader. I was actually averaging more when he was playing because he just spaced the floor. You couldn't guard all of us at the same time between me, him, Johnny, and then we still had Big A.O. Orenze Onuaku, who was in the paint, and then we had Paul Hurd too. Like we had a really good balanced team, and us losing Eric, like really, really, it hurt us bad, man. Worse than we probably thought, but yeah, nah. So it could have been a lot better. And we didn't even make the tournament either. We got robbed. That's the year. The Big East usually got 8 teams into the tournament. That's the year they took 7, and we were the 8th seed and left us out. So,
but were y'all headed? Was y'all headed to the ACC the year after that, or no?
Nah, I think we stayed in the. I think it was a couple more years. I think we might did like probably 2 or 3 more years in the Big East.
But did they know?
Nah, that's football. I mean, they might have knew. I didn't know. You know how it is with the football runs.
Because they did us shady at the end. They made us tie with UConn after we won outright and had a better record. And just because we was going, they was just hating.
Oh, wow. Yeah. See, I ain't even thinking about none of that. That's crazy.
Like politically hating.
Nah, it's always politics behind it. You already know.
Yeah,
it gets worse as you know what I'm saying, as you every level you go up. It gets crazy. So y'all already know. But yeah, man, it was what it was. But definitely had a blast my freshman year, man.
What were some of like the biggest things you think you learned throughout your process playing, college ball there?
Showing up. You gotta show up every single night to play, man. Like, sometimes when you're in high school, you can take nights off. I don't really feel like playing against them. Like, you're going through the motions, but in college, man, especially in the Big East, once conference play starts, it's real. So you definitely can't take no nights off. And if you have a rough game, you got to be able to go hurry up and get it out your mind and bounce back because you got another one coming right up in a couple days. So it definitely helped me with that. I wasn't lifting no weights in college, so how can you say it? My strength and conditioning coach already know. Like I go out there, run on the track all day long. I got you. When it comes time for that weight room, I'm very superstitious. My grandmother told me when I was younger, like if you lift weights, it'll stunt your growth. I think that's why I am as tall as I am. Though. I'm telling you, I didn't lift no weight. I didn't touch weight till I got to the league, man. It's crazy. And my brother was supposed to be taller than me. He ended up being like, my brother's like 6'6.5", maybe 6'7" on a good day. But he was supposed to have been a taller one. And he started lifting weights early. So, touching weights, man, and leaving weights alone, dog. But yeah.
Okay.
No, I was in that same boat. I wasn't messing with no weights. They had that. That was my punishment. Like, you gotta go to the weight room.
Right.
They put me on that track, I'm gone. Like,
yeah.
They like, no, we can't punish him with running.
Mm-hmm.
We can't punish him with running. You gotta send his ass to the weight room.
I hated running too, though. But I mean, I go on the track before I went in the weight room. That's for sure.
So you have your freshman year, and then you make a tough call, and you declare for the draft. Obviously, this upset some people, but at the end of the day, you gotta do what's right for you.
A lot of people.
Yeah. There's a lot of people.
I was hated for a long time at Syracuse, man, and I get it. Like we didn't have such a great year, especially for Syracuse standards, and why are you declaring? But I mean, like I told them, like you go to college to get a good job, to get your dream job. My dream job was right there in front of me. I had the opportunity. I went. I didn't get my diploma or anything like that. I didn't stay as long as as long as they wanted me to. But at the same time, you go to college to get your dream job, to better yourself. And the NBA was right there in front of me. I had to reach out and take it, especially once I sent my paperwork in. And a lot of people don't know the process. You actually send your paperwork into the league, and then they send your name around to the 30 teams, and then they come back and they let you know where you possibly could be drafted at. So as soon as I sent my paperwork in, and my initial slot was anywhere 14 to 20, that's guaranteed. That's first round. I'm out. They could have told me 20 to 30. I'm out. It's first round. So it is what it is, man. It's a tough process, but I mean now it's way different now.
Yeah, it's common. They want you at 16 now.
Yeah, it's way different now.
They start looking at you at 12, 13 years old now.
It's crazy. It's crazy. So
from our era, I'm saying that before us, we was kind of like ahead of our time and kind of like pioneers of what's going on right now today. Like they always had an argument about eras and era this and era that. I feel like we was like the last break of that real era. You know what I'm saying? That could survive in the era before and could survive in the era today. You know what I'm saying? So, nah, bro, we was steps, light years ahead of our time, for real.
Facts.
No, I say I came out of the DeLorean early. Yeah, should have stayed in there a couple more years.
Oh, no. I was out. There wasn't no question about mine. Nah. Grandma needed some help, and I had little Tay on the way, so it was over. I was out.
And I feel like something that has to go into that too is like with sports and basketball, like one injury changes everything. Correct. So like if you risk like going back to college, playing another year, you get hurt. That whole dream of playing the NBA could be shattered in a second.
I mean, I think that's something that kind of need to be, you know what I'm saying, touched upon, because it's like you could sign yourself up to the Army and go get killed at 18, like, but you can't put yourself in a position to change your life and your family's life. You know what I'm saying? Based off of your own skill. You know what I'm saying? So I'm glad that is kind of changing now. You know what I'm saying? It's not that hold and lock, keeping people like basically in prison, basically slaving them into, you know what I'm saying, those type of situations. But
that NIL money help out too now. Though.
Yeah,
I'll tell you that.
That changed the whole game.
That's killer. I can't even imagine if we had that. I might have stayed. I might stay 3 years. We had that NIL money, bread.
You'd already been a millionaire, though.
Yeah,
man, already been a millionaire.
They getting cars, they getting bread. Like goodness,
they getting merch deals.
One dude got a deal. He doing like cooling and heating systems.
I saw that. Yeah.
You saw that?
Yeah. It's like a local like plumbing like HVAC company that he's just doing ads for and just gets paid a ton to do it.
Oh, that's crazy.
That gotta be that's a booster deal right there for sure.
Definitely a booster deal. Facts.
The booster giving that company money, like, all right, here we just gonna funnel this through y'all. Y'all go ahead and just give me the NIL deal. That's wild. That's wild.
So
But
looking
yes.
back on that decision, are you kind of, okay with that decision? Do you wish anything went different?
I'm fine with it. I think the only thing I was mad about was how I slipped, man. I got into an altercation at a Nets workout. I'm competitive, right? So all of us are competitive, especially that guy over there, Mike Taylor.
Different human on the court.
Right. I mean, like we always have our battles. You know what it is. But I'm in the workout. I'm not going to say no names, but we in the workout, and a guy who I'm going up against, we playing full court 1-on-1. Nets was famous for love to do this. I don't know why, and you had to stay within the lanes. You had to stay.
Yeah.
So you playing full court 1-on-1, and the dude he's not getting by me. He's not making layups. He's just. I don't think he got a couple times. He didn't even get it to half court, and coaches just keep giving him the ball back. I'm like, yo, when is it gonna be my turn? Like, you keep having me out here playing defense. It's Brian Hill. So everybody knows that Brian Hill has this like short man complex. Like he I don't know what it is about it. He just gotta always. And at this time, he was an assistant coach. He wasn't even the head coach. So he keep giving him the ball back. And then, at one point, I'm like, what's up? When is it gonna be my turn? Like, y'all keep having me playing all this defense. Like, I'm getting stops. Like, what's up? When is it? Oh, shut up, rookie. Shut up. Who are you talking to? Don't worry about what's going on. Just go. I'm like, all right, let me chill. I get a couple more stops. I think the next time he like hit it off of the dude's leg or something like that. Clearly supposed to be my ball. He gives the ball back to the dude. I just black out. Like, yo, what the fuck? I'm out here playing all this goddamn defense. Like, if somebody, am I gonna get a chance? Like, just forgetting where you at that fast, split second. Yeah. And then boom, there it gets out. Donte Greene's a head case. He's not coachable. Arguing with the assistants and I'm like, man, anybody that knows me know that that's not even me. But for that to even get out, that's the only thing about my whole draft process that I didn't. I let myself slip that fast, and it ended up hurting me and cost me. But yeah, other than that, just my draft process was my decision. I was cool with, and how it went. I worked out for. I think I had 22 workouts. Crazy. Wow. I was where I was at. So I was projected 14 or 20. So it was like, all right, you can work out. I worked out for like the top, I think 8 to 30. Like something like that. Yeah. 8 to 28, something like that. Because I didn't work out for Houston. And they ended up drafting me. But I did a couple workouts. I did 2 workouts for Sacramento. They called me back. So I thought I was going to go to Sacramento, but they ended up drafting my guy Jason Thompson, which I ended up going there eventually. But yeah, my draft, it was tough. That was the best shape of my life. I tell you that draft process, you got to be in some crazy shape for them workouts. But
oh my god,
yeah, it was dope.
Now, did you do the combine or? I mean, did you do the combine, and then like how was the travel schedule for these workouts from 8 to 30? Like, how many did you do in a week? Like, how was that?
Yeah.
So I didn't do the combine. I went to the combine. I was one of those non-player. Like I didn't have to play. I was they said I didn't need to play. So that was cool.
Lottery. You was projected lottery.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that was dope. But the workout, it just depends. Like, so 1 week, I know for instance, Milwaukee. I went to Milwaukee. Milwaukee was like one of my first workouts. You go there. I got there on like a Monday. Tuesday, you had your own individual workout. I had my own individual workout Tuesday, and then Wednesday was the group workout with a couple of us. I think in my workout it was me, Joel Alexander, who they ended up drafting, and then I think it was JJ Hickson and Anthony Randolph. We was mostly always in workouts together because of our position and where we were all slotted to be drafted at. And
that's a tough group though, right there.
Nah, we was bumping. We was
that's
bumping.
A tough group.
Always. And it's like you going to these different workouts, but you seeing basically the same guys. You might go to a workout and you might have a couple guards in one. It might be like guards in a forward. But most of the time it was all the guys at your position, and it's a dog eat world, man. You got to get out there. You gotta go. Exactly. And I was already cool with JJ, and JJ was cool through just growing up through grassroots and everything. And I know I played against Joel Alexander, of course, in the Big East, he went to West Virginia, but I didn't really know Anthony too much, but we ended up getting cool. But yeah, man, it's with that workout, and then sometimes I had like 4 workouts in a week. So I was in Phoenix. I went from Phoenix to LA, from LA to Memphis to DC. Like it was just crazy, bouncing around. Only 2 months. You only like 2, or it was. I don't know how it is now, but it was only 2 months where you could work out before the draft, and I worked out all the way up. The draft was a Thursday. My last workout was Tuesday. I had a meeting with Houston, who ended up drafting me, but I met with them Tuesday, and then flew back home to have my draft party on Thursday.
So yeah, what was a draft night? What was that like?
Stressful, bro. Stressful. Just because I knew what had happened in New Jersey, and I didn't know where. You try not to pay attention to it, but my name was already sliding on some of the draft boards, so it was like, damn, like, did I make the right decision? Should I went back? And then I had to also make another decision. I got invited to New York, but I got a big family, man. I got a huge family, so a lot of people helped me get to that point, and I don't think it would have been fair just to select a few to go with me in New York. So I ended up renting out a bowling alley in Baltimore and just had all my, man, it was packed in there. It was crazy. But what's crazy is I didn't even go until they called my name. I was at my grandmother's house, which was like right down the street around the corner. I couldn't leave the house because I just couldn't sit there in front of all them people and, wait for my name to be called. And if I look back on that, I probably should have just went straight to the thing, to the bowling alley and been in the party. But it was just, I just needed that. I had it a long time. So it was at the house. It was just me. I think it was me, my cousin Quentin. I think my little brother was there with me, and my manager and my agent. We was all just at the house, just waiting for him to call my name. And you get past. I think I got to like 20, and I started getting up. I had my suit on and everything. I'm pacing. I took the jacket off. I'm pacing. I think I get to pick number 25. I start crying. I'm like, man, I messed up with y'all. Why'd I leave? And my manager's like, yo, just be cool, be cool. Like, what you mean, be cool? I ain't work out for none of these teams. Like, the last 5 teams, I ain't work out for them. And they're like, oh, I was tripping. My cousin's like, yo, calm down. I'm like, no, I ain't gonna calm down. Like, I'm just, man, tripping. Like, really realize. Looking back on it, I wish I had a camera crew with me, because that would have been very funny. Man, I know. I had my dress shoes. I know I walked the hole in my grandmother's floor. I'm just going back and forth. So they finally, my phone rang, and I think it was a 26 pick. So my phone rang, and it's Memphis. I mean, it was Memphis pick, but my phone rang, and it's Houston. So I'm sitting there talking to my guy who's a scout, he's like, yo, we gonna pick you. I was like, no, I'm sorry. 26 pick was Houston's pick, and they called me and they're like, "Oh, we gonna pick you." I'm like, "All right, bet." So I'm gonna pick right here. They're like, "Nah, we picking for Memphis, and Memphis picking for us." I'm like, "But I'm available right now at the 26 pick. What are y'all doing? Like, just take me right now." I don't know what it was. It's the money. We need this, we need that. So they ended up picking Darrell Arthur, and then Memphis picked me at 28. Swap them picks right there. But yeah, it was wild, man. It was wild. But ended up all working out, and I mean, I was mad, don't get me wrong. I was upset I went 28th, but I was happy that, I was still in that first round bracket, and I was ready to rock and roll.
Now let's get into summer league, because that pops off right after.
Oh,
you
my
dropped
goodness.
a 40 ball.
First game, bro. I was mad. I thought I was mad. I shouldn't have went 28th. Still be that to this day.
Yeah.
And And I think we were playing against Phoenix, and that's a team I had worked out for twice. I can't remember who they drafted that year, but I know that I wanted to go to Phoenix. I ain't gonna hold you. I went down there my first time in Phoenix, went down there, worked. I was there for a couple of days. Like, this Phoenix was cool. I was like, yeah, I need to be down there in Phoenix. Got that second call back. I'm like, oh, I know they're gonna draft me. I'm set. So of course, draft night coming in, they ain't draft me. So I made sure whoever I think every team we played against, that was crazy. Every team we played against that summer league, my rookie year, it was somebody who, of course, could have potentially drafted me, but I had definitely had good relations with. And I was like, I'm gonna show y'all that y'all should have drafted me. Like, y'all made a mistake. And what's crazy was I signed my contract 5 minutes before the game. They wasn't gonna let me play. You know, you can't play. Well, back then you couldn't play until you signed your contract. So my contract's already structured, but they was working out the bonuses, incentives, all that other stuff. So my agent finally got it done like 5 minutes before the game, and I didn't even warm up that game. I was just dressed. I was just chilling, sitting on the side. And
now you manifested that, and that's what I love to hear. And I feel like we in our basketball community don't get to talk about that enough. There's so much fuel we add to the fire, right?
right.
I'm gonna prove to you,
Mm-hmm.
and that's what I think is so big, because it's like it's something about that energy, man, that it's almost like a Bruce Leroy effect sometimes.
Man,
like you got this sublime glow.
For sure. And you got to just make sure that when you get those opportunities, you got to take advantage of them. And I was making sure, like, hey, man, I'm gonna put the league on notice. Like, what they say, they say, oh, Syracuse guys, they don't want to play. No, they don't want to play hard. They don't really play defense. Like, I wanted to come in and change all that, change the whole narrative for us. And it started that night in summer league, man. That first game. So yeah, 40 ball. I think I finished up averaging like 27 for the summer. I was just happy to be out there.
You was all summer league. So would you come in the MVP voting? Was you MVP?
Back then they didn't give it out. I think I probably would have got it, but back then it wasn't. Summer league is not what it is now. But I'm quite sure I would have. Yeah, for sure. I would have definitely got. I think I averaged the most out of all.
Now they get rings.
They get rings. It's a whole
it's a whole league. It's like a whole league.
It's a whole league.
I got this summer league bling. You feel me? I got a championship.
Mm-hmm.
Do those rings count for anything? Like, if you guys were still in the NBA and a rookie comes into your organization and flexes a ring, does that mean anything to you?
Negative.
Okay.
It better.
You shouldn't flex a ring, but because it's different versus the season. But I mean, it's just good that if you've been working on your game, staying in shape.
I mean, it's like a personal accomplishment. You know what I'm saying?
It's good to put on your resume. But other than that, who won it? I think the Lakers won it 1 year, something like that. Bron didn't really care about that. It was a good showing. It's a good look for the team, for the organization. But
for the organization,
in the locker room, I don't want to hear that, man.
it's a lot of those guys that's on those summer league teams that don't even have a chance of making it to the league. They don't have no chance. You know what I'm saying?
No chance. Before the season, you get traded to Sacramento.
Mm-hmm.
Did you expect that trade, or was it?
I'm hot. I'm upset. I'm in Houston, great organization.
Nice city.
Nice city, good weather.
Nice city,
good weather. Come on, it's too hot.
Better than Sacramento.
We're not bashing Sac now.
We're not bashing Sac. I'm from Cali. We can't bash Sac.
I'm about to say, Houston is better than I would say this. The living is probably a little bit better than Sacramento. But what people don't understand is, I will say that when I got to Sacramento, I fell in love with the city. Not necessarily the team, organization, but it was more about the city, the fans. Like, they still to this day, I go back to Sac. My daughter lives in Sac. I can go back to Sac and get crazy love. I go back and do radio shows. I go get on TV, just walking in the city. Oh, yo, Donte. Like, I did so much in the city. And they embraced me and took me and my family in. Word. So Sac is always going to be my second home. Always loved. But basketball wise, I was upset. I was the projected starter for Houston. T-Mac and Shane Battier were hurt. They weren't coming back until like December, maybe. I think T-Mac may came back in like January. I was locked in. I was in, and I think it's because I played too well in summer league. If I went out there in summer league and didn't do nothing, I would have still been in Houston. I wouldn't have had no interest. I wouldn't have had no stock. We wouldn't have been able to throw me in a trade. Like, oh, I don't want him. He wasn't. But because I think I played so well, and Sacramento was already getting ready to be on this like rebuilding thing, they traded me for Ron Artest.
That's crazy. I didn't know you traded for him.
And that trade ended up not working out for them. And I went back and talked to my guy about one of the scouts. I was like, man, y'all should have just kept me. Like, Ron didn't mesh well with, T-Mac and Shane and that. It was the whole thing. It ended up being a bad trade. But, part of the business. And I was on the move again.
I got this section called Mike's Mental Minute. I like to just go a little bit deeper, like how I kind of tapped into you earlier, just with that mental thing and speaking on depth. Mm-hmm. So already being traded twice before like your rookie debut, what kind of effect did that have on you, like mentally? And you know what I'm saying? Like, how was everything going into it? Like, how did that affect you mentally?
It wasn't bad because it was like, I don't know, I looked at it two ways. Like, all right, it's a team that wants me, and then it's a team that not necessarily doesn't want me, but couldn't use me, or I don't know really what it was. But I looked at it. I always try to stay positive with everything I got going on. Mm-hmm. No matter what, like, life is full of ups and downs. You just got to just stay locked in and just stay positive. So I always looked at it like, hey man, I'm going to a spot where I'm gonna get a chance to grow, to hoop, and just to do what I love. So I didn't think about it too much. Because for me, I'm still in the league at the end of the day. My contract. Oh. Like, I'm still there. This is about going out there and doing what you love. So it didn't really affect me at all, really, because I didn't really understand the business. So it was just like, all right, well, whatever. Niggas get traded every day. Like, all right, cool. I'm on my way to Sacramento. So yeah, it wasn't. Looking back on it now, it probably should have affected me more. But I was just so young. I was just so happy to be in the league. It didn't matter. But I'm here. Like, let's go. Y'all want me to go play and wherever. It don't matter. Like, and that's why my rookie year, I asked to go to the D League. Like, I went to the organization. Me and my agent was like, yo, send me to the D League. Like, I'm here not playing. We're losing. Like, we won like 17 games my rookie year. So we're losing and I'm not playing? Like, nah. Go ahead, send me to D League, bro. I'm trying to go hoop. This ain't it. So, but yeah, no, it wasn't that bad.
So yeah, you kind of stepped into that next question. Like, so what was your biggest adjustments that you had doing some of the things and what were some of the things that you kind of learned early on? You know what I'm saying? Playing in that Clippers, because I kind of had an identical season with you. Like, I was with the Clippers. We only won 18 games. I'm like, when am I going to play?
Exactly.
Like, what's going on?
And when they put you out there, you was hooping. I think at the end of the season we played out, we was both out there just going crazy.
Yeah, like let's just get a bucket.
Yeah. I remember because it was you and Bobby Brown.
Bobby Brown. Like, we was going at it.
Yeah. We was out there.
Preseason, the whole every time we linked up, we was going at it.
No, facts. Just the adjustment for me was just the time, man. We had so much. It was so much free time for me. So just kind of getting adjusted to that. And still at the same time, I'm only 20 years old, so it was only so much that I could do. Yeah, I think that was my biggest thing, and learning how to be a pro. People don't understand, like, you got to learn how to be a pro. You can't just be a pro, like, mentally, with your work ethic, how you showing up, what you doing when you do show up. Like, it's a lot to go into being a pro. That's why, I tell my oldest now, I'm like, yo, I have the blueprint for you. All you have to do is just listen, bro. That's all I need you to do is just listen and trust what I'm saying, because I done made all of the mistakes. I done messed up every step of the way. I done did everything that you can think of that I don't want you to do. So I can help you do, get you to where you need to be at. But yeah, just being a pro, man. It's a lot that goes into it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you definitely hit it right on the head. And that's what I try to tell my son now. Like, bro, I'm trying to protect you. You know what I'm saying? That's one of the biggest things. Like, I kind of seen it from every angle. I seen it from the bottom of the bottom. You know what I'm saying? And I was at the top of the top. So I know, you know what I'm saying, what it is. So I'm gonna make it a smoother transition for you. So appreciate you in that too.
Nah, you already know.
After your 4 years with the Kings, and you had a pretty good experience overall with them, being that, just like you said earlier, the town really appreciates you. Every time you come back into the city, it's always love. But after your 4 years, you signed a contract overseas. What made you want to leave the league and go play? Was it because you just wanted to hoop, or was what was your mindset?
So what's crazy is, so after my 4 years in Sacramento, I signed I had inked a 2-year deal in Brooklyn, but I ended up breaking my ankle. I was supposed to sign my contract on Monday. I went and played and broke my ankle. I didn't play the whole summer. Went and played on a Sunday. Like, went to go shoot. It's crazy. It's a crazy story. I was in the gym just shooting. Me and my cousin working out. I was living in Charlotte at the time. And my young boys was going to UNCC. So I'm up there shooting and working out. Finish my workout. They come in. They're like, yo, you want to hoop? I'm like, yeah. I hoop. I really ain't hooped all summer. So, yeah, let me go out here and try to hoop. But I got my deal now. I'm straight. Let me go hoop. It was like the last game or something like that. Came down. God cut behind me. I tripped over him and fell and broke my ankle. So I lost my deal in Brooklyn, obviously. Shout out to them, though. They still took care of me. Took care of the surgery and the rehab and everything. So it was dope for that. So I rehabbed basically that whole next year. And I signed with Memphis at the end of the season, 2012, 2013 season. I signed with Memphis. Went all the way to the Western Conference Finals, had a great experience with that. And then from Memphis, I got traded to Boston. Rest in peace to my man Fat Mello. We went to Syracuse. It was crazy. We got traded.
R.I.P.
So got traded to Boston, and I knew in my mind, I'm like, Boston has no. I'm not fitting in there with their, what they got going on. Like, as far as, you teams are trying to build a roster, guys who they know gonna, play or Like, I was just like a trade thing. Let me trade for him because his contract. Also my second year was non-guaranteed too. Like, the non-guaranteed contract was like, what's the odds of me making this team and sticking around being able to do something? Which was, I probably could have, but I also had China that had sent the offer. Like, yo, you know what I'm saying? Everybody know about China. You go to China, you got that bag. So China hit me like, man, season only 5 months.
6 months, 5 months.
Come over, do your thing. And then what also enticed me was Bobby was on the team. Bobby Brown, like, yo, bro, come pull up, let's come play. Let's do this. So I'm like, all right, bet. So I'm out. So I got released from Boston and went over there. But like you said, to play one for sure, and to get that bag.
That's a great bag over there. China is one of the greater leagues. It's more like NBA, more oriented as far as the money goes. And I mean, you get an opportunity where you're gonna get the ball majority of the time, and the lifestyle, it's catered to you. You're a king over there. You got your interpreter situation,
7-star hotel, driver, like the whole works,
So when you first went over there, I know my first experience, I got off the plane, I got in the car, and they was having a conversation, but all they was saying was nigga.
Yo, that tripped me out. And
I flipped out.
My interpreter, he wasn't even the one that was having the conversation. He was sitting in the back with me. So they're having a conversation, and I'm looking at him, and I'm like, and he's looking at me like, what? And I'm like, you don't hear them? He's like, oh, no, that's not. Nope. I forgot even what it means, but it's like okay, yeah. But yeah, I'm like, what? Are you're not hearing this? And he was like, no, he just like, no, no.
Yeah.
It don't mean that. It don't mean that. I was like, I'm like, all right, cool. But just throughout the rest of the time I was there, it still tripped me up, man. Like this.
Yeah,
Wow.
that's
Different.
so funny.
Yeah, nah,
it is
it was
different.
Funny. Yeah, it was cool though. China was a great, and I was in a great city too. I was in Dongguan, which is like an hour away from Hong Kong. I was in South China.
Oh yeah.
So
Baller.
people that don't know, like mainland China, nobody speaks English. When I say nobody speaks English.
Mm-hmm.
And
it's hard to live. The food, everything, it's just hard.
Crazy. I mean, our city was pretty good because we had a bunch of American. Like we had Dell had a factory in my city. I think Nike had a factory in our city. So it was a bunch of foreigners. It was expats that was in the city that would come over.
Imports.
Imports, and they would be there. Just at the hotels. Like it was. We had an American grocery store. Like we had. It wasn't. My city wasn't that bad. And then what made it even better was that Hong Kong was right there. So you can go over to Hong Kong. You get everybody speaks English. Great food. You got just Americans, way more Americans.
Whatever you want.
Yeah, you can go and have a conversation with somebody. I was just being in the mall, just talking to random people. Just like, man, it's so great to be able just to sit here and speak English. Man.
Just a little boat ride away.
Yeah,
for real.
Yeah.
You spend the next few years playing on different teams internationally and playing in the NBA Summer League. Kind of walk us through the different, teams, countries you were in. And
well, initially my plan was to go to China, get the bag, and then come back during the season.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, what they don't tell you is, and I always tell guys this who are in the league, who are thinking about going overseas, it's way harder to get back into the league than it is when you first initially, like that whole process. I mean, just for me, and I know a lot of guys is different, but I know for me for sure, it was way harder to get back into the league. Like it was just like, it's not that I gave up, but it was just like, man, I'm not trying to keep coming home every summer after I played overseas and then have to play in summer league just to try to get the non-guaranteed contract. Like,
yeah.
If I could go back and do it, I would have just stayed on Boston and just grinded my way through. Like just found my way. Like if I needed to turn into a journeyman, just turn into a journeyman. You know what I'm saying? Just to be home. Because that overseas life is rough, man.
Yeah.
And you don't really, especially if I got drafted, I was 20, spent 4 or 5 years in the league. It's
just like being so young, you don't appreciate it.
Yeah. You think you just I took it for granted for sure. And man, like, and don't get me wrong, overseas is still great. You know what I'm saying? You're still doing what you love. You still being able to provide for your family.
It's an adjustment. It's a
big adjustment.
A lifestyle adjustment,
Big adjustment.
Culture adjustment too.
Culture,
yes.
Lifestyle. Mm-hmm.
Yes. So after China, I haven't had too many bad places, to be honest. After China, I went to Dubai. I was in Dubai for 2 years. I played there. That was another great place to play. Another great bag.
Yeah,
they definitely.
I left. Yes, for sure. I left. I left Dubai and went to Lebanon. Played in Lebanon for a few years.
That's bag too. Just say you went to everywhere that had a bag.
Hey man, at the end of the day, look. At the end of the day, I was just chasing the bag. That's all it was about for me.
That's that Syracuse. That's that Syracuse city.
Look, man. Look, I'm trying to go get the bag. I gotta take care of these kids. But yeah, just bouncing around. I think I went and played in Saudi. Saudi was cool. I actually got stuck there right before the pandemic, which was crazy.
That's different.
Oh.
Yeah, it was wild. But went to Tunisia after that. I done played so many places. It's it's really been a blessing. Though. I can really.
Yeah,
Stems.
I was almost stuck in Tunisia. I was almost stuck in Tunisia, and I
went to Tunisia. I went to Tunisia after the pandemic. I went there.
Yeah, I know.
With Ezra. Yeah, I mean Azara. Yeah, I hit you up. I talked to you about that. Yeah. It was Tunisia was cool though. It was better than I thought. I ain't gonna lie. Tunisia was beautiful, and just to be able to say like, you know, I've been to Africa, like to get that, even though you know, it's North Africa, but it's
was they speaking French? They were speaking French in that part where you was.
Yeah,
that was weird to me. I'm thinking,
that's a bar.
Yeah,
they speaking French. They would speak French,
everything,
Arabic, and English.
Yeah, wow. Everything was kind of under the French rule. I think the French kind of conquered that area.
Yeah.
So everything, the dollar, everything was, you know what I'm saying? The currency was under the French rule. Everything, the timing, everything was kind of under the French rule. And that was weird. Like they talking French, but then they praying in Arabic. I was like, what?
Yeah, it was wild. It was wild. It was some Twilight. You just like using Twilight. Like
I swear.
It's like, what's going on? Like why? And then what's crazy is it looks like you're in the Middle East though. Like the way that the area is, like how their buildings and everything. It looked like you're in the Middle East, but then they speak in French. But you know, what's the religion? The Islamic or what?
Yeah, they Islam. Yeah, it's Islam.
Yeah. So they speak in Arabic. It was wild, man. It's a beautiful place though. It's a beautiful place.
It's a wonderful place to be.
So we fast forward a few years and you end up in the Big Three. How did that kind of, come into play for you?
What's crazy is I was supposed to have been in the Big Three like in the inaugural season. I was when they came up, I think somebody hit my agent up about it, and I was like, yeah, I'll do it. So, beginning of the season, I'm overseas, but I'm doing promo videos for the Big Three. I did a couple of interviews on like CNN talking about it and all kinds of crazy stuff. And then when draft night comes, I don't get drafted. Like nobody drafted me. Really? I was like, how y'all have me do all this promo? Yeah, I'm talking about on like even during the first season, the Flyers, I'm on the Flyers. Like I'm on the Flyer. It was crazy. So I'm sitting there like, I was like, all right, whatever. I guess, I'll try again another year. And then the second year, I think I went and played the TBT. I went and played with my Syracuse team with the TBT. So I was like, I wasn't even tripping off the Big Three. But after that, Corey Maggette hit me up later on in the second season. Was like, yo, can you come play? But we end up going like to the Final Four of the TBT. So I was like, I gotta do this. I'm trying to get this bag real quick, the TBT money.
$2 million. It was $3 million then?
It was that year, it was $2 million.
Yeah. Wow.
So yeah, went and played with them, and then I didn't even think about the Big Three again until the following year. I had broke a bone in my hand. So I was home. I had surgery, I rehab, and I had got cleared in like, I want to say April to play. And I ended up just working out, getting back in shape, and actually going to the combine. And that was in Vegas, and ended up getting drafted by Stat in the Killer Threes, and just finished up my third year.
That was season 3, huh? Of the Big Three.
This past year, yeah. This is my third year,
yeah.
So what's the experience been like for you overall so far?
Oh, it's been fun, man. I tell everybody, like, it's about the camaraderie, man. Like, being able to play against guys I used to play with, played against, a couple guys I watched growing up. It's dope, and you could get to be home and play in front of your family. You know what I'm saying? My kids get to come to the games, like, they taking pictures with Cube and whoever else showed up to the game. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's the whole atmosphere is dope, man, and it's fun. And, we still out here doing what we love.
One thing we got to talk about though is the past 2 years. You have had some luck going on.
We've been robbed in the playoffs. I can't. First year, make it always to the championship. Granted, we lost in the championship. But all right, cool. Made it to the championship, had a great year. These last 2 years, like, man, you just itching to get back to. I just want to get back to the playoffs. Let me get my foot in the door and make something happen. But yeah, I think we had the control of it. All we had to do was win, and it didn't happen. But at the end of the day, like I said, man, it's still fun. It's still love, and I'm looking forward to next year for sure.
Definitely.
You guys are going to be representing in the All-Star game next weekend in Atlanta.
Congratulations to you, brother.
Yeah,
congrats.
Even though
I think we're on the same team.
No, we not on the same team.
Oh, okay.
On the
I thought we were on the same team. Dang.
So next week
they always want to put us up against each other. I don't know why.
I already know. I'm trying to win something. You feel me?
Hey, what they talking about? We get a bonus for winning or something like that?
Yeah, you get more than the loser.
Oh, okay. Oh, all right.
The winner get more than the loser.
Oh, they're doing the same thing? Okay.
Yeah,
all right.
shit.
Well, you already know how I'm coming in. You already know.
Yeah, I know. You already know. So we trying to get it.
Right.
All right, we in the final segments round. This segment is called Rhino Vision, where I like to go into detail and have obviously our guests explain a breakdown of their favorite plays. You in this scenario, we have a few. So the first one would be your fireball, because you're a fireball beast. You know what I'm saying? In your ones.
Yeah.
So I want you to give a in-depth breakdown of your favorite fireball 1-on-1, and then give me one of your favorite plays from a 5-on-5 scenario, whether it be NBA, overseas, or TBT.
Oh, okay. All right. So the first one, the fireball. I don't know. I got two really good ones, of course, that they always use for the promo. I've had a few though, but two favorites, I would say I'm gonna pick two. Was the game winner fireball against Andre Owens and Aliens last year, 2020 season. This year, 2021 season. This year, it would have to be against Isaiah Briscoe trilogy. I think it was like the second game of the season. He was fouling the whole time. It's fireball. First of all, anybody don't know fireball, there's no fouls that's going to be called. Like, you got to, as a player, you got to know that. So, it got to be a real blatant foul for you to get it called. Mm-hmm. So, Isaiah, as soon as I get the ball top the key, he got two hands in my chest. So, of course, I turn and start backing him down. He's still two hands, boom, two hands, pushing all that. So I think I almost like lost the ball, got it together, got to my spot, and just shot my fade and hit the shot and ended up going in. And it's crazy. I think he had a whole bunch of guys on the sideline that was talking, and I just turned at them and, let them know, like, man, don't play with me. I'm not one of them. So, like, you already know I'm not one of them. I do this, all right? I do this. And as far as one of my favorite plays, I always say this, my favorite play in the league. Rest in peace to Mamba, man. The Bean. We had a game in Sacramento. I think this was my second year. It's like my breakout year in the league. I think I started like 65 games that year, something like that. Definitely my best year in the league. And we was playing LA in Sacramento. Everybody knows Kings Lakers rivalry is crazy.
Crazy.
Like,
yeah. Crazy.
Going all the way back to the C-Web days and, Vladi and all of them.
Shout out to Mike Bibby.
Yes, sir. My guy Mike. Bibby. That's the OG right there. Man, it's always crazy. So, it was a regular season game in Sac. I think it was the first one of the year. And we're tied up. They got the ball. It's like 14 seconds left on the clock. It's me and Kobe on the he got me on the post. And, he's backing me down. He goes just shoot a little turns. Usually he goes right. Obviously, scouting report. Everybody knows scouting reports. Kobe gonna go over that left shoulder. He turns and goes over his right shoulder, and it's on my strong hand, my right hand. So I end up going up and blocking it, and sending it to overtime. And we lost to overtime, but just that moment, being able, to guard him, and I got the picture framed and everything, and after the game, we spoke, and I earned his respect that night, and that's one of the best moments for sure in my NBA career.
That's awesome.
That's dope. And you gave us our first defensive play. Like, everybody talks about offensive. You give our first defensive. I like that. That was dope.
Dude, I told you I had to change the narrative with Syracuse, man. It's for they think we just back there playing 2-3, man. Like we can't play no defense. Like no, we play defense, bro. We play when we need to.
Against the late great, the young GOAT Kobe, rest in peace again, man. Nah, that's a dope story for sure.
All right, we'll get into the next one. It's called Give a Dog a Bone. It's just a bunch of rapid fire questions for our audience to get to know you a little bit better. Starting off, this is the Underdogs Podcast. We got to know what your favorite dog breed is.
I'm not really a dog person. I like other people's dogs. Like to be able to play with them and then give them back. Like so. Yeah. But if I had to pick, maybe I don't know. One of my good friends got a Frenchie, so I say maybe a Frenchie.
Okay. Favorite musical artist.
Favorite musical artist. Wow. I have a favorite genre. I'm an R&B guy. I'll say that. I love R&B. I wasn't allowed to listen. My mom was very religious and strict when I was younger, so I couldn't even start listening to rap until I was like 12, I think, 13, and it was Jay-Z, Hov. So that was my first. That was my first rap artist. But I grew up on R&B, so R&B is my favorite.
Okay. What's your favorite shoe?
Oh, Nike for sure. Hoop shoe got to be Kyrie's. I can't wear nothing but Kyrie's.
Kyrie's, okay.
I've been with Kyrie since his first one. So
yeah, the first one was amazing though.
Yeah,
that's cool. Yeah.
Do you have a favorite city to play in? I think you may have already answered this. But we'll see.
My favorite city to play in is at the crib going home, Baltimore. Okay. Pro-am, we got a really good program. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to play in it this year. We were too busy with the big three. But shout out to the Brunson League. I love going home and playing. So Baltimore is definitely my favorite.
I didn't realize that was out of the DMV. It's cool.
Yeah, Brunson. Yep, Brunson League is in Baltimore. It's not even. So we gotta get this straight too, because Mike said it earlier. The DMV is not Baltimore. We gotta get y'all to understand that.
Okay.
DMV is DC, Maryland, Virginia. So DMV is more like where Mike and them from, like PG County, Mike Beasley, Kevin Durant, Ty Lawson, Nolan Smith, Chris Wright, Austin Freeman. All those guys is from the DMV. Baltimore it's in Maryland, but we're technically our own state. Like if you get in Maryland, if you ask somebody like, oh yeah, you from Maryland? Yeah, where you from? Oh, Baltimore. Oh no, you from Baltimore. You're not from Maryland. It's a difference, but yeah, nah.
Baltimore from the wire, huh?
Exactly. We got our own swag. Like our own swag, own lingo.
Yeah, no, for real.
I love the lingo and the accent though. I'm gonna keep it 100. I love a B-more accent. That shit.
It's different. Yeah,
it's definitely different. It's not that Philly. It's not that.
No.
It's totally
New York. It's totally different.
Totally different.
Who is your favorite dunker of all time?
That's a good question.
That's a great question.
Favorite dunker of all time? I would have to say. I'm gonna have to go with Vince.
Let's go. That's the right answer.
Yeah.
Got it. Go with Vince.
That's a great answer.
Aside from basketball, what would you say your favorite hobby is?
Traveling. I mean, it's part of what we do. I'm in a hotel now. I'm always on the road, so I'm not even home now. So
and your passport is almost like Anthony Bourdain's anyway. Dubai and
look, I've been through a couple of them. Definitely been through a couple of them. Just traveling, maybe hanging out with family and definitely my kids. But and my kids love to travel too. So we share that common bond right there. So traveling for sure.
Do you have a favorite place you've been to, like in terms of traveling?
My favorite place to go to. What's crazy is I played in DR. Like I won a championship down there, and like for like 3 or 4 years straight, I spent every summer down there. Went down there and played in there like little summer league. So probably DR, just because it's home. I get love when I go down there. My kids love it down there. So yeah, probably DR.
Who is the hardest player you've had to guard?
Kobe. It's like you try not to. I was never one to talk trash to that type of tier. You gotta know his levels to, you know what I'm saying, get trash on. Now Mike is a little more crazy. I talk trash. Mike Mike might have tried Kobe. I think
he definitely tried Kobe.
Yeah,
Mike definitely tried
me.
Kobe.
But with me,
I was never in the game. So I didn't have that problem. You feel me?
I'm telling you.
I took my Kobe A out on Jordan Farmar, so I was good.
Yeah, nah. So
He took that
I didn't guard it. What's crazy was how I was my role on the team. I was the defensive guy on the team. Of course, you know, I played everybody from Steve Nash to AI to Dirk to KG. Of course, all the forwards, Melo, KD, you know, Kobe, D Wade. I was the guy guarding their guy. And with Kobe, man, it's like, one, it was the same thing with Jordan. You didn't look him in his eye. At the beginning of the game, you dap him up and that's it. You don't say nothing to him. You don't talk trash. You hit your shot, you better go back down the court. It's like you don't want to make him mad. You can only, defensively, you can only just try to contain him. He has a counter to a counter to his counter. Like, it's no way. You just got to keep him in front, contest, and hope he misses. That's how it is.
Wow. Who would you say the best defender versus you was?
Oh, no, I don't think nobody can defend me, to be honest. So.
I love that attitude.
Nobody.
Okay. Did you have a least favorite city or stadium to play in?
Mike gonna hate me for this. I hated Milwaukee, man. The new arena's cold. The new
arena look dope.
Yeah, but it's just we always went in the middle of winter. Like it was just bad.
It's a bad city to play, but like the nightlife and that was pretty fun. I will say that.
Yeah, nah. It was cool though.
Milwaukee different, man.
It is different. Wintertime, no, but what's crazy is if you see the city in the summertime, it's a totally different.
Oh yeah,
totally different. Totally
I'm talking about booming in the spring, winter, and the spring, summer, and the fall. Oh my god, beautiful.
Yeah.
And the winter, oh my, there's no way.
You can't go nowhere.
Send me to Florida. I'm going to Florida.
It's too cold,
man.
So,
all right. What would you say your favorite movie is?
Either He Got Game or Paid in Full. One of my two. I'll give you a sports movie and a regular joint. So yeah.
Okay.
He got game for sure though, number one.
Okay. Who's your favorite current player?
Favorite current player. That is a good question. I'm really a fan of the league. I'm really rocking with the kid Bones right now. He's
Bones Highland?
Yes. He is a pro. I mean, we're on the Underdog Podcast, so we can go with it, like, you know,
Underdog.
He's like something like an underdog, yeah. So, yeah.
Okay, Davion Mitchell is my sleeper right now. Just want to throw that out there. I think that kid's
he
insane.
is
nice.
Is a beast.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, his work ethic's crazy too.
Is he still in SAC?
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I haven't been keeping up with their trades and everything, but
who is your favorite all-time player?
Oh, MJ.
MJ. Okay.
No doubt about it.
And then to end this off, what's something you wish fans knew or understood better?
About me or about the game?
About you and the game, I guess. Or I'll let you interpret it how you want to. Just about being a pro athlete and kind of that spotlight you have.
It's hard, you know. We are one. I wish people understand that we're regular people too. You know, we're humans. I think a lot of times people try to put us on pedestals or put us places where, you know, good and bad, you know, at the end of the day, we're still we're still regular people. You know, we're just really good at our jobs, or we can do something really, really well, which is playing basketball. That's one. And as far as about the game, obviously everybody can't do it, bro. Like it's I mean NBA players has only been 5,000 or something like that. I mean, what's the number? Something small like that, right? Maybe 5,000 or 7,000 ever NBA players ever. Like give me some credit if we sitting here talking about, you know, hoop or, you know, just anything. What I've accomplished is not an easy feat. I was blessed to do it. There's a lot of hard work that went into it, and you know, everybody can do it.
Truth.
Amen. Amen.
You know, put some respect on my name.
Yes, sir. We need a respect check, Jay. We got to put that on
in the
edit. Yeah.
Respect it.
And we need the ding.
Right.
What was your funniest NBA moment?
Oh man, I don't know. A few of them. I made Perk's Big Perk bloopers one time. I think he was in Boston. Everybody sends it to me on Twitter when they put up his little highlight video or whatever. It's supposed to be a highlight video, but it's really all like his bloopers. He did something like try to do a behind the back pass or something.
Nobody.
I don't know. I was on the bench, the camera zoomed right in on me. I was dying laughing. Like I'm talking about, I think I was holding on to my teammate and everything. Like they zoomed right in on me. That was pretty funny. Or I can look back on it now and say it's funny. My first game, my rookie year, 3 straight plays, I stepped out of bounds, bro. 3 straight plays, stepped out of bounds. And the coach Reggie Theus took me out, bro. You go ask Reggie this. We talked about it the other day. 3 straight times. Like, I don't know if I just had the jitters or I don't know what it was, bro. But I was nervous and I just kept stepping out of bounds. I was like, yo, what? Like I looked down and one time my foot was all the way out of bounds. I was like, oh, bro, just take me out the game now, man. Man. I'm waiting for the sub, man. Come get me, bro. 3 straight times. I want to say, I think we was playing the Warriors. It was a preseason game. We was playing the Warriors. And it was 3 straight times, bro. I could not, for the life of me, understand what was going on with my feet. I'm like, whoa.
He wanted to get close to that bench.
man, what? It was crazy, but yeah, that was probably the funniest for sure. That first game, man. Damn rookie.
Damn rookie.
Damn Rook.
Come on, Rook. Come on, Rook. Get it together, Rook. I heard Bobby Jackson saying, "Come on, Rook." What you doing?
Shout out Bobby Jackson too. He was a kid.
Yeah, shout out. For real. Yeah, he was.
I used to look up to coming off that bench, being that spark plug.
Man,
them ones.
Cold with it, man. Cold with it. What's crazy is he had his secret ingredient when nobody knew. He used to sit on the bench and sip Red Bull. Like had a little cup and he came in the game ready, fire, all cylinders. Even his last year, he was still. I want to say his last year he might have averaged I think he averaged close to 15 that year. Something like that. I don't know. He was cooking my rookie year though.
He's a bucket. He's a coach over there at SAC now too.
Yeah, I think he's the head coach of the G League team. I want to say.
Yeah, he's the head coach of the G League. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. We'll end this episode off as we do each week, asking you, what do you think the biggest lesson you learned throughout your entire journey is?
Just to continue to work, man. You got to always grind. And even now in my older years, like I got to continue to make sure I tell myself that, just to continue to work, continue to go along with it, with trust the process. But yeah, man, just gotta grind and always put that work in.
Thanks.
Yes, sir.
That's going to do it for episode number 18 of the Underdogs Podcast. I'll link Donte's socials down below. Make sure to give him a follow, click subscribe. See you guys next week. Peace.
Number 18. Yo, appreciate you, buddy.
Yes, sir. You already know.
Bro.